Okay, so I just got done watching Spider-Man No Way Home, and this is my initial reaction slash review of the movie. And don't worry, before I even get into my actual review, there will be no spoilers. I won't talk about anything specific that happens in the movie, but I just got to share my initial thoughts because I can't contain my excitement anymore. I'm sorry if this video is kind of all over the place and doesn't really make sense. I haven't written a script, I haven't made any bullet points or anything. This is just my review of this movie. So, going into this movie, thankfully, I did not get spoiled at all. Literally, the past like 36 hours, I have not really been on social media, especially the last 12 hours. I have not been on social media at all because this is one of those movies where if you can manage to go into this not knowing what happens, this is a once in a lifetime type movie without giving anything away. I did hear that there were some people that was kind of worried, like, maybe this movie is biting off more than it can chew, and they were kind of worried if this can live up to the hype levels and the expectations. And let me just say now, it absolutely does in every way possible. From the beginning to the end, it doesn't seem like a 2.5 hour movie. It kind of just flies by, which is kind of sad because I never wanted the movie to end. I loved every second of it. And also, without giving anything away, there was a couple instances where they could have played it safe and they didn't. This movie does take risks in the storytelling and certain characters, and I loved it. So that automatically like makes movies, in my opinion, whenever they can subvert expectations to where it makes sense, and it actually works for the story and the characters, that automatically makes the movie like 10 times better to me. And this movie does take risks, and to me, it pulls it off really well. And also, even watching the trailers, like if you've watched the trailers for this movie, like all that stuff is shown off early on in the movie. So like so much of this movie, unless you get spoiled, you have no idea what happens. Not only is this the best Spider-Man movie ever, like by far, but honestly, the only movie that might be better when it comes to the MCU or any superhero movie. Well, let's just stick to the MCU. The only movie that rivals it is Infinity War. Like, this movie's better than Endgame, it's better than Civil War, it's better than every movie. Honestly, even to me, like, I'm going to watch this again tomorrow, so I'll probably have to wait on that. But it might be better than Infinity War, but I'm not gonna like make that decision right now because I just got done watching it. But for those of you who are Spider-Man fans, I promise you, you will walk out of this movie thinking it's one of the best movies you've ever seen. I am not going to spoil certain things that happen, but when they happen, like my movie theater erupted and I was so happy. This movie was so emotional. I cried like 3 or 4 times just because of pure happiness and also some sad points because, like I said, this movie takes risks, and Spider-Man is actually like, it's kind of more of a serious movie at some points, and as I've gotten older, I kind of like movies that are more like serious, kind of dark, and this movie definitely has those moments, so I really love that about this movie. If you haven't seen this movie yet, because I don't know if everywhere in the United States, like if they showed this movie on the 16th, because I know officially this doesn't come out until tomorrow or today when you guys actually are watching this video. But hopefully you can, if you haven't already, hopefully you can get tickets today or as soon as possible, because I really hope you guys don't get spoiled if you don't want to. I know there's people out there that don't really care about spoiling things because they're the scum of the earth. And thankfully, I never got spoiled. But man, if you go in this movie without any spoilers, it is such a good movie. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 because I love Spider-Man. I am an insanely massive Spider-Man fan. I used to be a bigger Spider-Man fan when I was younger, but then over the past like 6 months to a year, I have recently rewatched all the Spider-Man movies, and I've played the 2018 Spider-Man and Miles Morales, and my love for the character has just shot through the roof back to when I was a kid, and this movie just made it so much higher. Like, my favorite superhero of all time is Spider-Man, and I'm actually really excited for the future of Spider-Man because the way it ends, like, it's risky, but I kind of love it, and I'm actually really intrigued on where they're going to take it forward. If I didn't have to talk about some disappointments, it's not with the movie itself, but it's with, I'll just say it now, there is a mid and post credit scene, and going into the movie itself, I didn't have any expectations. I went into it with an open mind, but I did make a prediction for like one of the post credit scenes. I thought it was going to be more like epic and more like shocking, but they aren't that crazy. So, I mean, they're definitely worth watching because they're important, but you know, it's nothing like the post credit scene for Venom Let There Be Carnage. So, yeah, those are just my quick thoughts. I'm sorry if I just rambled. I just had to let you guys know how I feel initially. I cannot wait to watch it for a second time. And honestly, I'm probably going to watch it a few more times in theaters because I'm that big of a Spider-Man fan. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the post notification bell so you don't miss my next upload. Until next time, guys, take care.